Cheryl Arabie has had many roles throughout her life: daughter, wife, mother, friend, teacher, assistant principal, grandmother, supervisor, and assistant superintendent. Each of these roles has shaped her and made her who she is today. And that in turn has given those who know her and love her, and those who have worked for her, the deepest admiration, love, and respect for this remarkably talented woman.
Cheryl is a true educator. When you think about an educator, she is a true educator.
As a leader, she's just been fabulous, I think, because she's such a great listener. She truly listens, and she truly has the children at heart.
She's not afraid to have the difficult conversations. Sometimes she knows maybe one of us need to do something, and she'll say, no, I'll do that. Let me do that.
The thing about Cheryl is she follows up. So if she says she's going to do something, she does it.
She's just an all-around good person, a great friend to me, but she becomes a friend to everybody she works with, everybody she is in charge of.
I just truly admire her commitment to her family and how she can balance things. I know she's got a mom that she cares deeply and loves and spends a lot of time with. You know, she's got a great husband. Greg's a great guy, and certainly he spends a lot of time supporting her and what she's doing at work.
I know Cheryl's whole family is at her house every Sunday for dinner and after church.
She's a great family person. Her family means the world to her. They hold her heart.
And this strong sense of family has shaped her, defined her, and made her who she is today.
My parents always believed that you could accomplish whatever you set your mind to. For the first 3 or 4 years of my being in elementary school, I was in the group of students who couldn't read. So my dad was given that task to work with me, and it was Alice and Jerry, and Jip was the dog. He would sit there, poor thing, and he would say Alice, I'd say Alice, he'd say Jerry, I'd say Jerry, he'd say Jip, and I'd say Jip, and so then it would be my turn to read. So you turn the page, Alice, Jerry, and I'd come to the dog, and I could not get Jip. He'd be very patient for a little bit. And so Jip, J-I-P, Jip, okay, I got it, I'm gonna get it this next time. So we'd start from the beginning and we get there. And it was like this total block. I could not read the word Jip. You know, with that story, I think what comes out of it is we were determined. My parents, I mean, there was never a doubt that I was gonna go to college. They tried to send me in another direction. I mean, my mom called the school and said she's going, you know, she's gonna go to LSU and she's gonna get her teaching degree.
And overcoming such challenges is one of the reasons that Cheryl Arabie is a compassionate, determined, and effective educator.
If you want something bad enough, you can obtain it. And the journey and how you get there is what you will draw from.
And for 17 years, Cheryl Arabie did just that. She taught in Baton Rouge, even in Okinawa, and then settled in at Mandeville Middle School as a 4th grade teacher.
I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. From the very beginning, I always wanted to help and to help others and to be a part of that learning process.
She was all about the kids. She always, as I said, taught with hands-on and got in the middle of the lesson with them.
Mandeville Middle had a true sense of family with the teachers, with administration, and I had never considered going for a higher degree. But there was that sense that, you know, there's something more out there. So that's when I got my master's, but I got my master's in elementary teaching. It was not in leadership because I had no desire to leave the classroom. I had an incredible mentor, Gail Sloan, who saw something in me that I never saw in myself, and that was to become a leader outside of the classroom. It took a big kick to get me out of there.
In spite of her desire to simply stay in the classroom, her feeling of there being something more out there started her journey as an educational leader. She became assistant principal at Mandeville Middle, then, continuing to rise in the ranks, became the principal of the brand new Lake Harbor Middle School.
I've always continued to call it my school. I think opening a new school, when you're actually giving it its name, you're picking its colors, you're designing placement, and it's your school. Of course, I never thought I wanted to leave Mandeville Middle. So that was even a big decision to think, wow, could I actually be principal? And then could I be principal of a brand new school?
Cheryl established a warm and positive culture here at Lake Harbor, and she always had high expectations of students and teachers and herself.
After 4 years at Lake Harbor, she moved up in the ranks of leadership again when she became the data supervisor for the parish.
And I think at the district level, that opportunity for data supervisor was just what I saw as maybe an opportunity for me to help others in other schools.
She was always all about the data.
She's always look at the data, and she looks at her data and doesn't make a lot of false statements that way.
Cheryl's unique ability to not only understand data, but to write curriculum made her the perfect choice when the position for Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction became available in the school district.
I thank Trey for giving me that opportunity to serve our school system and overseeing the money. As a leader, he made a good decision. I am surrounded by very special, intelligent, content knowledge supervisors. They are by far just incredibly important people to me. But we all are about the same thing. What do we want to do? What's best for the kids in St. Tammany Parish?
Along with that, her keen sense of numbers and working with data meant that she could also lead the district's finances.
You don't see many times where you have assistant superintendent of curriculum instruction that also has the finance piece. We don't want to negatively impact the classroom, the instruction in the classroom, the teacher. And I think that Cheryl's touch of having the curriculum piece and the finance allowed us to do that.
Cheryl's role as assistant superintendent thrust her in a high-profile, demanding job, and her ability to manage it effectively while meeting the demands of a large and close-knit family comes down to Cheryl's razor-sharp and keen sense of organization. That can be represented by one thing and one thing only: her notebook.
She has a notebook with her at all times, and just so that she won't forget anything, she writes it down in her little notebook.
And we'll say, well, put it in your notebook, or she'll pull it out, and she said, oh, I have that in my notebook. And she pulls it out and ticks it off, and she knows, oh, I know where that is. No, it was before this. And everything that she needs is right there in her notebook.
Cheryl always does have a notebook with her. She always had a notebook with her as administrator, and she has taught myself, and I've taught others now, to always have a notebook.
That notebook goes everywhere with her, and I've tried to steal it a few times to see if I could see what's in it, but she's got it under lock and key. But the notebook is just her way of keeping everything organized.
So, in spite of never wanting to leave the classroom, Cheryl Arabie responded to those that saw her enormous potential and moved up through the ranks. And through her lens of always being a classroom teacher, she made a tremendous difference, not only for the entire school district, but in the hearts and minds of thousands of children.
When I'm thinking about being back in the classroom, even though I'm in this chair, it's like it's all the classrooms in St. Tammany Parish. If you have the feeling and the heart that you're helping children, that's what keeps me going.
She truly believed in the power of education, the curriculum. She wanted it to be strong, and she's worked very hard to give us a very good A foundation.
I think the way that she works with people, her honesty, her fairness, I think all of those are going to be her legacy.
I think the legacy is that we've had a solid curriculum, with her and overseeing it.
My mom's legacy as a mother was that she brought up all four of us, all four of her children, to grow up using each of our talents individually, and that we're not all the same, but she knew how to parent us and to encourage us in the different ways that we use our talents.
Her triumphs through her weaknesses are incredibly inspiring, regardless of her being a mother, really. She's an absolute career woman. I'm gonna cry. Sorry. Coming into that floor of the school board is just always a delight when I come into town. It's like the one thing I want to go do. I want to get a PJs and I want to go to the school board because I want to walk into that floor and I want to see all those women just doing their thing and looking great doing it, really.
I'm so proud of my mom, Cheryl Arabie, and the impact that she has made on the school system. I feel like we're losing an amazing, amazing professional, and I just know that we're going to move forward in this next stage of her life with retirement, and she's just going to have an amazing time with my dad.
I am excited for her to drink coffee for as long as she wants in the morning, because if that's one thing we have in common, we like to drink our coffee and have our moments with nothing else going on.
I think it's going to be great for Cheryl to be with her family. I know she wants to be with her mom, and she loves those grandkids, you know. So I think it's going to be a great situation for her. I wish her the very best.
Well, I'll miss her tremendously in many different ways, both professionally and personally. But I'm happy for her. She has her health. She's got great family. She's got a lot of things that she wants to do. So, you know, I guess I could be selfish and wish that she would work with us forever, but I'm also really extremely happy for her and the opportunities that she has moving forward in the rest of her life.
I'll have to continue with my notebook, because I had a notebook, I think, even before I was a teacher. Yes, I'll continue with the notebook, but it's going to look a little different. I think it's going to have more things that'll be family focused. I think it will have, hopefully, you know, just more fun things. Trips, that kind of thing. So, but yes, I'll always have a notebook.